Hello YouTube, this is Pink Asuna coming to you today with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video. I've had numerous people ask me on the comments that they wanted me to do some more deck profiles of decks that I've used, or any other friends of mine that that have used their deck lists. And this is another deck variant for one of my favorite decks. It's actually two different engines smashed into one, and it actually works really consistently. I will tell you some of the changes I would do, but the person that did give me this deck profile is a very good friend of mine. He didn't want me to shout him out for whatever reason, but I mean, I'm gonna bring you guys his deck profile. I have it on right here, so I'll show it to you guys right now. Give me 1 second. It's not this one. Here we go. So it's gonna be dragonmaid invoked. It also has, as you can see, it also has a dragoon. This is the way he plays it, but I'm gonna let you guys know some changes you could do, because I think this profile is a little outdated, but I mean, it works just fine. I've tested it. Every time before I make a deck profile, I always test it before. So yeah, let's get started. So he does play 3 kitchen dragon maids. He plays 1 laundry dragon maid, 2 nurses, 3 partlers, 2 copies of dragon maid tin heck, 3 copies of chamber dragon maid, 3 copies of Ernest, 1 copy of Lord Par, 1 dark magician, 1 red eyes black dragon, 1 red eyes darkness metal dragon. That's all for the dragon maid and some of the dragon engine. 3 Alistair of the Invoker, obviously because you're playing invokes, so you gotta max out him out. 2 copies of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. That's all for monsters. For spells, he's playing 1 copy of Dragon Maid Changeover, 3 copies of Dragon Maid Hospitality, 3 copies of Dragon Maid, not Dragon Maid, of Invocation. Sorry, I'm like, yeah. 3 copies of Invocation, 2 copies of Magical Meltdown, 2 copies of Pot of Desires, 1 copy of Pot of Avarice, 3 copies of Red Eyes Fusion, 1 copy of Return of the Dragon Lords, and 2 copies of Royal Legacy Guard Dragon. So this deck list is a total of 44 cards on main. Extra deck, he's using 3 copies of Dragon Maid Show, 2 copies of House Dragon Maid, 1 copy of Invoked yugioh, so a new one, 2 copies of Megwa, 1 copy of Elysium, 1 copy of Raiden, 1 copy of Purgatrio, 1 of the Link, obviously, 1 Cross Sheep for the place, and then he's playing 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoons. So yeah, I mean, this deck list, I've tried it a few times. It works really good. It's really consistent. But I do think it's kind of outdated. At least this deck list was made, I would say it was made about a month and a half ago, I probably would say. And there's some changes I would do to this deck list, so now I'm gonna let you guys know. So obviously, I would still max out on 3 Dragon Maid kitchens. I would still play the 1 copy of Laundry, 2 copies of Nurse, 3 Partlers. Think Heck, I would maybe drop them down to 1, but I mean 2's okay. You still want to. Chamber, I mean, I would probably drop her down to 2 as well. I would still keep 3 copies of Ernest because that dragon's good. I would still keep the 1 copy of Lord Par. This engine is kind of questionable to me, but I would still continue to try it out. I mean, just because having Dragoon in the field is a big threat to your opponent, but also I do feel you're kind of adding 2 bricks to your deck. So it might be a little dangerous. So I mean, just so you guys do know that. I would still definitely keep the Red Eyes Metal. I would still keep the 3 copies of Alistair, obviously. Phantasme, I would I would probably still keep. Yeah, I would keep the 2 of this. Um, Thinking about it, other monsters I would add. I'm trying to think. I don't think I would add any other monsters. Like I said, I would, if anything, I would take some of the monsters out. Like I said, I would probably take down this engine. I probably would take down one of the twin hex and one of the chambers, because I mean they're not as relative, at least not as relevant as kitchen and parlor are in the deck. Um, for spells, I would keep the 1 changeover. I would definitely play the 3 copies still of hospitality. I would still play the 3 copies of evocation, the 2 copies of meltdown, the 2 desires. I would maybe drop it down to 1 and add 2 to 3 copies of triple tactics, just because I do feel safer with that card. I would still keep the 1 copy of avarice. Again, if I take down this engine, I would probably take all 3 copies of this out, just because there's no need for them. But if I do keep them in, I would probably drop this down to like either 1 or 2. I wouldn't play the 3 anymore. I don't think you would need this anymore, and I would still keep the copies of this too, on board. So that would probably drop it down to like 38, 39 cards out of the 44. Let's see, if we added one more card, I'm trying to think, because right now we're adding on Phantom Rage. So that's why I'm thinking. I mean, yeah, I mean the last card I would say either add a Harpy's Feather Duster to clear all the back row. Otherwise, I would play either Lightning Storm, but I would probably side the Lightning Storms. I'm trying to think what else you could add in here. But yeah, I would probably say the Harpy's Feather Duster would probably be a safe choice to add in, if I do have to say that. So that probably would be my main deck. For the extra deck, I would probably drop Shadow to 2, just the same way as House. I would still keep the 1 copy of this, just because it could come up. The 2 Makabas is fine. The 1 copy of Elysium is fine. So everything's fine except for, like I said, it just depends on this 2 right here. So if I had to add, I would probably be adding 2 more links. One of them being Access Code Talker, probably, or Board Sword. I would probably act like something like that, or I would do the IP and Unicorn engine. I think that would be another good engine to add in. But yeah, that's sort of like the things I would probably consider adding in, if I must. Other than that, guys, I think that's probably the changes I would do. So yeah, let's do them so you guys could see. So let's say I keep this, but I do drop the chamber to 2. Let's say I do take out this engine. What other stuff did I say? Oh yeah, 3 copies of this. Just showing you guys how much cleaner it's gonna look. So I'm just doing this live so you guys could see what I do mean. Okay. So right here, see? So right here are the changes that I would do, like I said. It is keeping Ting Heck, just because I kind of want to leave them in, just because, and I'm gonna leave Return of the Dragon Lords, because I think it could still come up to be a pretty good card in the long run, and then doing the changes to the extra deck. So it just depends your preference. I guess for me, I would feel kind of safe having at least one link forward, just because it could come up. You never know. And then, like I did say, I would drop this down to 2. So now we have 2 spaces here. So we go access code, and then we go. And then we can just go IP and unicorn. The reason why I really love this engine, I always have to add it in, at least if I have the space to. It's because it's so strong, guys. It's one of the strong. I think it's a really strong engine, just because the fact that you're able to bait your opponent with IP Masquerena, and then you could just go to a unicorn that you could just bounce anything you want back to the deck. It's just so strong right now. Another version that I did have, I was playing also Forbidden Droplets. I just didn't think they were as efficient after a little while, because I know he was also playing that too, but he dropped them. He went back to his original variant, and that's why I was showcasing it before. But if I have to update it, because he did ask me, he wanted me to update his deck list, the way he's playing it. This would probably be the way for me, at least for the way the deck is coming. And if you guys really think about it, this deck's about to get really cheap, and it's a really nice option. I mean, me personally, I'm still gonna probably be playing the originals, but I might get a little second core just to mess with for fun, just to see how the cards will look like. If they actually look really good, I'm not quite sure. But I know that the kitchens, they get reprinted, laundry, it's gonna get reprinted, nurse, parlor are all gonna get reprinted, and same thing with house. So the only things that will not be reprinted is gonna be dragonmaid Xiao, chamber, and then the bigger dragons. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you are looking for the deck, I would probably get all this, all the missing pieces, like chamber, all the bigger dragons, and Xiao, because those are probably going to be going up real fast, just because they're the only pieces that did not get reprinted. I'm not sure in hospitality. It's rumored that it's in there. I haven't seen it yet, but if not, then this is probably going to be a $20 card. Now also this too. So this 2 spell cards I would probably be hunting down as well too. I know hospitality already went up a bit. I think it was like 12, 15. I don't know what it's at right now, as of right now, but I know it has been going up. And then say you need to get 1 copy of this, because this is your fusion card. Other other things you could add in here. Like, let's say you don't want to go with the unicorn, the AP, or the access code talker. Or even if you don't want to play cross sheep. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't, but I mean, let's say you don't want to play cross sheep and all this other 4, then you could play super poly, triple super poly in the deck. That's what I used to do, and make this 3 or 4 into super poly targets. So like Venom, and then whatever other 3 cards you want to add in, for any other matchups. Like right now, we'll be going into a Sue format, I guess. If you really think about it, I know a lot of people are building Tribegate. I know a lot of people are playing with Dinosaur. So just anything that would disrupt those decks, any fusions, right, guys, go for them. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much all I wanted to let you guys know. Like I said, I do really like. I play Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I don't just play mobile games. I just don't really play Yu-Gi-Oh as much as I used to, just because where I'm from right here, there's none of the locals want to open up for whatever reason and host events, or locals even, because they're afraid of the situation that we're on right now. So yeah, I really hope they do open up real soon though, because that actually does hurt their business. And I've even talked to a few of them, but I mean, it's their choice, it's their locals, but I do feel that they do need to kind of hurry up, because players might be losing interest in Yu-Gi-Oh here in the Valley, where I'm at, very relatively soon, if they have not yet. But yeah, if you aren't subscribed, make sure to do so. Like I said, that would be great. Also, if you do watch me on Twitch, make sure to follow there too. I would really appreciate it. I do sometimes stream Yu-Gi-Oh there. This probably will be one of the decks I probably will be streaming whenever I do. So actually, I'm going to save this deck right now. That way I could showcase this deck later at a later date. And if you guys do want me to stream it, let's say tomorrow or another day, as fast as possible, or if you guys want to mess with it, I mean, here's a recipe so you guys could get a little idea. If you are thinking about building dragon maids and have the invoked engine, you don't have to go with the invoked engine. Like I did showcase another one, so I'm gonna showcase another recipe. This is the other recipe that I do play. Let me, not this one here. Give me 1 second. I think it was. I'm trying to remember. Give me 1 second. Where did I put it at? Okay. Well, I mean, there's. Okay, which one's this? Okay, so this one right here. Here's another one actually. I'm gonna showcase to you guys 2 different deck lists. This is another deck list, but this one's has Dogmatica. It has Dragon Maids and Invoked, all in one, guys, all in one. So this one was made by me, and like I said, the other one I also did fix it, so just so you guys could see it. So technically, both of the deck lists are original to me. And if you guys do want to try it, this is their second recipe for the deck. That I do enjoy playing, and it's actually very competitive. So it just depends how many cards you want in your deck, because this one is a 45 card variant. So just do keep that in mind. There might be some changes here and there you can make, but the extra deck's so tight that you can't really do too much. But this is going to be showing you guys. And then this is all up to date to the latest format, the way it is right now. Let's let me walk through you guys through this one, and I'll show you guys what this deck list is. So obviously 3 of the waifu, the Dogmatica Ecclesia, 2 copies of Firlis, 2 copies of Maximus. Again, you play 3 copies of Chamber, but I would drop this. So here, let me do some changes right now. I'm starting to see Chamber 2 is not bad. So this particular time, I'm only playing 2 Kitchen Dragon Maids, 2 Nurses, 2 Partler. Again, normally you wouldn't be doing 2. You'd be maxing out on Kitchen and on Partler, but for this time, I did drop it down to 2. 1 copy of Lorpar, 2 copies of Tink Heck, and 2 copies of Ernest. And again, you only want to drop this down to 2 when you're missing this many engines in. You still want to have consistency, and you still want to see your Dragon Mates. 1 Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. Sorry about that, allergies. 3 copies of Alistair. So that's all for monsters. So you're really not playing any hand traps on this variant. At least I'm not. Changes I would make. So just alone in the monsters. If I have to make any changes, I would drop one of the Maximus to 1. I would drop one of the Fairlease to 1. So this would be and then one of the there you go. This would be the count that I would be playing the monsters at currently. And if I have to add anything, then okay, well this dropped down to 41. You guys saw that, right? Okay. Hand trap wise, you can either go with the Gamma package, or we go with Ashes, or you go with a Phantasmes. So what would you guys think would be much more optimal? Again, any of those 3 different engines, like as far as like text that you want to add in as hand traps, you could add. Me personally, if I have to pick right here, I probably would say either the Phantasme one's really good because they're dragons, or the Ash one's pretty good too. So in this case, I'm gonna go with the Phantasmes. So just because they're dragons, and I would only they're right here, perfect. It was even telling me here. Okay, so let's add in the 2 Phantasmes, because I would keep the 3rd one down here. So even the Ashes are here, see? So I was already thinking about that when I made this deck a few weeks ago. So I think it's kind of funny. And then now we're going to the spell cards. So 2 invocations, that's all you're going to need. 3 copies of Hospitality, again. 1 Changeover, and 1 Guard Dragon. War Legacy Guard Dragon, 2 copies of Triple Tactics, 2 Pot of Extravagance. Okay. So this is what I think. I mean, I did think this card was good back when I did put it in, but now that I really am thinking about it, I mean, do you really want to lose cards from your extra deck? You really don't want to add Pot of Duality or Pot of Duality Pot of Duality or any of the other pot cards. So yeah, I mean that's fine. Keep Pot of Extravagance here. Out of all the pot cards that are out currently, Extravagance would probably be the best one. And again, it's because you do care about the extra deck, but not really because of the way the engines is. So Dogmatica is just mostly focusing on the monsters that are on the field. Dragon Maids, again, they focus mostly on your hand, your monsters on the main deck. Invoke does worry about the extra deck, but most of the time you're gonna go Invoker, one of the turns and go all in. You're not gonna just go Pot of Extravagance and then go Invoker, Invoker. That would be a really bad misplay for you. So yeah, I mean, so 2 Pot of Extravagance. Nadir Servants, you could drop this down to 2. Me personally, I would probably say, I'll drop it down to 2. So now we're down to 42 cards. 2 Punishments, I'll probably drop this down to 1. 1 downtime's good. 1 copy of that one. So we will do 1 of each of these traps right here. And the reason why is because, again, you wouldn't want to be maxing out more than 1 of any of these cards nowadays. And this right here would be a 40 card deck. And this is adding 3 different engines, guys. I mean, Dogmatica being one of the most relevant tier meta engines. Same with Invoked. I mean, very top meta engine. Dragon Maids, I mean, it's good on. I could make so many decks with Dragon Maids. I mean, so many variants. Some people tell me, "Oh, Dragon Maid's only good as a pure." No. I can make. I'm showing you guys 2 different variants right here, and there's even more variants that I can make. I can make a Light Swarm variant. I can make a Shaddoll variant. I could probably even just make. So many other variants if I really do think about it a little bit more. I mean, and I have tested a Shaddoll variant that I will show you guys eventually if you guys do want to see that. That I actually did top multiple weeks at locals around my area back before all this happened. And I mean, if I even made that variant again, that would be insane. There's instead of the Tri-Brigade, I would just play Shaddolls instead. So yeah, I mean, let's not even get started with that, like I said. But I mean, yeah, there's so many ways you can play Dragon Maids. People are just not probably thinking about it as often. But yeah, I mean, side deck cards. I mean, again, these were just some of the meta relevant cards that I did add in. There's people that did tell me to add in. Where is it at? What was his name? They told me to add in this card nowadays. But the thing is, this card, I mean, I'm not playing extra deck, or I'm not playing XYC. So that's why this card wouldn't be irrelevant. But this card over here could actually become relevant because it does play it. You are able to play it. I mean, I would probably do 2. I wouldn't play 3. But I'm just saying, yeah, these are cards that you could also add in potentially, and it would make your deck even more stronger, guys. But all these cards are expensive. So like droplets are like 80 something. Lightning Storms are 110. Ashes are cheap. Phantasmades are cheap now. Alphas, you're already seeing them $60-$70 each. So I mean, this deck right here is this variants that I am showing you of Dragon Maids aren't cheap, but the engine just got so much cheaper. I mean, you're saving so much money from kitchens, nerves. I mean, and hospitality if you already have them. So I just wanted to show you guys this 2 variants, and then for extra deck, you guys did wanted to see again 2 shells, 2 houses, 1 ints. 1 El Shaddai, 1 Construct, 1 Winda, 1 Ash Dragon, 1 Mekaba, 1 Purgatrio, 2 copies of Heretic Seal, 1 copy of Cross Sheep, and 1 Board Sword. But the Board Sword I probably would change for an Access Code Talker moving forward, I think. But I mean, Board Sword's not bad still. I mean, either one is fine. But yeah, guys, this is 2 variants right here. So I was only going to showcase 1 variant, but I'm going to bring you guys, I was able to show you guys 2 different variants of dragonmaid decks. And it's showing you guys that, I mean, if you are looking to spend money and trying to have fun at the same time, but also play competitive, dragonmaids is a very good contender, guys. But if you do want to be like everybody else, then you play dinosaurs, Tri-Brigade, you play Salamangreat. I mean, you play rockets. I mean, you play any of those other boring decks. I mean, I think they're kind of boring. I mean, they're kind of out of date. I'd rather play the fun decks, and also play competitive and keep your opponent guessing, because a lot of people don't know what the Dragonmaid cards do. So I know that there was people that played at locals that were making fun of me, and then once I actually faced them and they saw how strong the Dragonmaid cards are, even by themselves, they were so surprised and told me, okay. And I think one of them even built Dragonmaids. That was pretty funny after that, like a week after. But I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyways, going back, because I am going a little out of time, and I do need to stream on Twitch. If you did enjoy this video and do want to see more videos like this of me talking about Yu-Gi-Oh decks and looking through deck lists that people do send me and friends of mine, and give you guys my input, because I do play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. That would really help. Also follow me on Twitch. Again, I'm just trying to grow both channels the most I can. It's also named Pink Asuna as well too. So yeah, other than that, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.